Hey, traders. Hi, it's Alex is here from Trading Analysis. This is our debut on a crypto live show. So welcome. I hope that you are all in. And we're gonna start the show. And let me first do a little bit of intro. And I'm doing all of the composition of the show myself. So just excuse me for the first time if we mess up something. My name is Alex, as you know, and I work for Trading Analysis. I'm a head of crypto and forex sections, and I've known Todd for the last 12 years, and our journey on the Elliott Wave path was really incredible. I'm from Serbia, and I invite him to visit my country in 2008, which was pretty brave at that time. So he came, and actually it was 2009, and he gave us a 3 day seminar on Elliott Wave because I has been fascinated by all his work at forex.com. And after that, he came next year, and from there, my journey with this wonderful tool has started. And I will talk a little bit about this tool later. It is one of our preferred tool in technical analysis. So let me also mention my crypto journey. I have been involved in crypto for the last 2 or 3 years in general regarding trading. So, but I'm also digging in more in a blockchain space for the last few years, and I'm as well fascinated about it in a sense that how this actually a new technology or a new kind of a thing on the internet will actually change and potential to change lots of industries, and I think this will going to happen in the next few years. So I'm also exploring a lot of projects. I'm not just fascinated about the Bitcoin that much as I'm fascinated about the projects which are becoming alive on the blockchain, and I'm tracking that very, very closely. So also I have envisioned this show to be also for you as a participant. So if you find some project that I missed, or you would like we see the chart of that coin together, so please you can send me on a Twitter, or you can post it in a comments section, so we can look at it together, analyze it, and maybe see if there is also a potential. Little bit more about the trading side. As you know, trading is a very difficult craft, and I would like to also to talk about trading in cryptos, which are very volatile. And I have been trading for almost 2.5 years with our members, the cryptos, and I must say we had a relatively nice success in trading it. Because the Elliott wave patterns, because of lack of fundamental reasons, it is a purely technical chart and technical Elliott wave work. Because of the emotions on that market, Elliott wave works pretty nice up to now, and we are basically trying to structure low risk trades, but in a certain manner, I'm starting to be much more interested in a longer term possible investments in crypto space, tracking all of these projects. So I always advise our members to maybe try to also allocate a portion of their capital and investing in viable project, because I think if this space booms up, it will be kind of similar to internet, and some of the projects might really take off in the future. So it is still in the early stage, and we might see this space actually booming in the next few years. So also I'm kind of always looking for these types of things like Where we are now in this chart on this crypto space, you all know this diagram, and it's usually follows some of the assets classes combined with the human emotions they're tracking and its usability. So I've been discussing with the members at Trading Analysis, where are we on this chart, because I think it's a very key thing. What is now happening in cryptos, there is a change of narrative. So change of narrative happened lately. Since I've been tracking the crypto space, so for example, if you look the first years of Bitcoin from 2009-10 up to 2017, it was mostly a kind of a mixed bag of people which were more enthusiasts from the philosophical point of the non-intervention, kind of a free currency option, like working without intervention in central bank, fiat currencies, and the rest of the stuff. There was also some of the technic geeks, like the guys which also had belief in this blockchain, and we also had some of the kind of a potential early comers, which we kind of identify as a first recognition of the probability of this path. So what I've been tracking in the last few months is that a majority of guys which we identify here as a smart money are starting to join in. We have seen big names joining the crypto space, namely Bitcoin. We have also seen some of the hedge fund managers which has been involved in the stock space or on equity side, also coming in, looking for some projects. So it's also kind of a mix of a potential smart money investors, which are kind of start to recognize a potential in a blockchain in the future, and they're setting aside small amounts of their portfolios, buying either cryptos related to some projects or a Bitcoin. So I really think if we look this phase, I don't know when the institutional investors are going to join. Some of them are already into it, buying the GBCT ETF, which is the ETF of the Bitcoin. So I think we are somewhere in the middle. So regarding the narrative from 2008, 2009 to 2017, and now it's completely changed. So if you look, the people which are now in the space, the current crisis that we experience, and also if we look the technological advance that we are, I think that the blockchain is still in its early adoption phase, and that if this project starts to live on, we don't see some distraction of the government. This really might take off in the future, and I think we will move slowly to this institutional investor phase investing, and then we will have the rest of the community joining up in the next maybe 5 to 7 years on this move on the upside. So I still think there is a time. I still think this is just in its beginning phase as the technology moves on the upside adoption scale, and that we will have more news, more projects coming in, and more interest from these institutional investors, which will maybe start pouring money into this project. Also, as you know, the financial crisis that we are in, fiat money, debasement of currencies, debts, that we are also kind of offer a different monetary tilt to this blockchain thing. I don't know, to tell you honestly, if it is going to be taken by the broader community in the bureaucratic sense. Government might take these blockchain projects for some of the kind of a better usage of some things like catastrophe IDs or something like that. But on a monetary side, I think we are far away from central banks thinking allocated some of their money into blockchain. Well, of course, all depends of how this crisis will actually finish. But in general, I think we are going to change our monetary system in the next 5 to 10 years, definitely, because this one starts to be mainly dysfunctional. So back to some of the other stuff. We have been looking for most of the time the crypto space. This is some of the things we were looking before on cryptos. Some of the charts we looked. We also just on a basis of Elliott wave, a simple ABC structure. We were looking for some type of possibility of cryptos going up. Back then, around 3,000, we called these lows, and we also put some trades there. This is December 2018 or 19, I think, lows. And then from there, we identified this possibility that we are in the first 5 waves up correction, and then we moved on the upside. We also looked some of the longer term charts of Bitcoin, and we identified a possibility that we are in this orange wave 3. I must say, regarding the Elliott wave methodology, there is lots of kind of misconceptions I see there. I've been practicing Elliott wave almost for 12 years, and I like working. I mean, I'm like 10 hours at my desk looking charts and trying to see a scientific behavioral appliance of the Elliott wave on the markets. So I must tell you that lots of people say that when you put 10 Elliotticians in the room, you can get 10 different charts and 10 different opinions. I can just add to that. I think if you give a Ferrari to me and to Hamilton, you're definitely gonna get the different results. So I think it's all about who is driving the tool, not the tool itself. So Elliott wave, it's just a tool or a methodology that you use, like it lends to look more objectively the financial markets or any assets class. And I think who runs and who actually puts this type of outlooks actually has a merit for doing it rightly. So I will not agree with many of misconceptions that are out there on this beautiful tool. And secondly, also, it depends for which purpose you're using it. Are you using it for swing trading or investing trading, investment time frame? So that's all depend. We are using it mostly for a swing trading, a trading analysis, and we also try to identify some of the longer term investment possibilities in many of these cryptocurrencies. So let's go and look some of the charts. Let me just talk you quickly what this show will be all about. I looked through the YouTube. There is many content on cryptos out there. Also, Real Vision is doing a very nice job in covering the fundamental and future outlook. There is also many guys which are focusing on a basic knowledge on the blockchain space, and my idea is to focus here more on the technicals. So also I would like to invite some guests on a crypto space in the future, but I will focus most of the time this show on presenting you a potential technical outlook based on the parameters and on a methodology we do at the trading analysis, and we have simplify our process to very 3 key points. First one is pattern recognition, second one is identifying risk, and third one is the trade management. So this is a rigorous process that we do at trading analysis, and it's a key thing. So firstly, I try to recognize a pattern, and the patterns morphs. And many people will say, okay, with Elliott wave, you can change your opinion. What is that methodology? Blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I really like that I can change, because everything is a change. That's the only constant in our world. So ability to have a tool and change your outlook according to the certain psychological patterns that are happening in collective unconscious thing, it's a beautiful thing. So that adaptability I really like much. So I always use a few scenarios. Some of them I will show you. because actually pattern and psychology changes according to some outside influence or some other stuff. So that's really nice to have a tool that you can really adapt very quickly and then see and orientate yourself where you are in these movements which are actually displayed on the graph. So let's go and see some charts. I was thinking to go a little bit more in a Bitcoin first. So I have several scenarios, so we can examine some of them on our longer term charts. This is one of our primary wave counts that we are looking. We are relatively bullish on the upside. This is not relatively, this is bullish. So we identified from the January 2010, actually a little bit later, this low as a potential move up in a wave 1, down in 2, and now we are in ongoing orange wave 3. This is a weekly chart. And we are kind of observing what's going on now. This is an investor time frame. We are looking this potential correction as a already finished ABC. Todd rightfully said so. Also identified this as a potential triangle in the ABCDE, but nevertheless, it's the same outlook. Even if you have a triangle, you will see a more upside on the Bitcoin. So on this larger time frame, we are looking still on the upside. And moving back on a daily, we have identified the possibility that we are close to near or near this first impulse move on the upside. We identified a 5-wave move on the upside. We are expecting some type of a corrective pullback. This is a mildly bullish scenario because this one depicts a wave to pullback back to 10,000, 9,000, and then we have one which is a more aggressive, which actually says that we are in a 1-2-1-2. I could argue from the Elliott wave standpoint, I don't like such a small pullback in a wave 2. It's a possible and valid wave count, but I'm just presenting you of the several options that we are looking. And I think this move down, if we see it, it's going to actually, its duration, it's going to tell us, are these going to be very aggressive 1-2-1-2 and we're going to spike on the upside, or are we going to have a more prolonged correction down to this 10,000, 11,000 levels. I have also looked at the arithmetic charts, or all charts are on semi-log scale. And this one, I don't like to use on the higher time frames these arithmetic charts because the charts doesn't look the same. As you can see, this is really not something that is quite nice. So let me show you a closer look on that one. It's a kind of a different scenario than this one, different numbers, different everything. I'm looking at it, but I'm not really taking this as a something which I will address. More like a development, because in the Elliott wave term, this doesn't look for now on anything. It's just look like a move up and a sideways consolidation. I much more like this semi-logarithmic scale, which give me a nice perspective of the moves. So as I said, in general, we look for several scenarios. This is my higher term, very bullish outlook on the Bitcoin. So if we are here in a progressing phase of the upside, one of the key fib ratios that we are looking is 161.8, which is the measurement between the projecting between the 1, 2 through 3. So this is a usual target, and we are looking for a progression up, maybe a small consolidation after we see this move on the upside in a potential triangle. We don't know that. I just put it out there because I think maybe after such a rise, it will be a logical we go in a balancing act for some time and then a final push on the upside. So that's one of the scenarios, most bullish one that I'm looking on Bitcoin. And also, as I said, I have a bearish scenario. Okay, but this is a mildly bearish scenario. These key levels here, we need to see a progression on the downside. And as I said, I think the move on the downside will be very telling for us. which use this methodology, what will actually will occur. Are we going to have a deeper pullback? This one will flush everybody out actually and then go on the upside. This is one of the patterns which is the most notorious ones, because it gets traders on the wrong side every time, because there is people which are long here, we reverse, we go down and form a running flat, which is a 335 corrective pullback, and then we start from here to move further on the upside, and we stopped at the key level. There is one more which is a little bit around the space of 24 to 26,000, which is 1272, we call it a fib extension. And I'm looking what's going on here. If I see a 5 waves down here, this scenario will very much come in play. Okay, so we go step by step in our analysis, and we do look every smalls and bits and clues what may transpire by market doing this type of things. Also RSI, I look sometimes, I don't use indicators much for my analysis, so but we can notice, we can register that it is very high here. Even if we go on a daily chart, it dropped a little bit, but that can be just one more push. We do some type of a divergence. We trace out another small high here, and then we reverse. So I look sometimes, and on daily you can see it's very high. So let's switch to Ethereum, and let's look some of the charts. We tracked some around like 20-25 cryptos. Our main thing is a market cap. We like to have a liquid to track a liquid instrument, and also we look some of the crosses. I like this Ethereum Bitcoin cross, which looks very nice from the Elliott wave perspective, and I can show you also that a little bit later. So let's dive into Ethereum. I'm also gonna read your requests. Sorry, I was just looking for, yeah, we can look all sorts of charts that you like to look. I will just see what is going on this live chat. And if you have some request in the future, you can leave your comment, or you can just put it here. We can look these charts later. I have already prepared two of the decentralized finance cryptos, which we're gonna dive in after Ethereum. So also Ethereum, we are looking just to say Ethereum has the highest correlation. We have also here a tool which we measure a relative rotation graph with Optima, and we measure a correlation between the different cryptos. I will show you that next time. And it's a kind of a very nice addition to this tool that we already use, and I will show you some of the rotations next week on the show. So Ethereum, we are also looking, for now we are looking bullish on the upside. Ethereum has a high correlation with the Bitcoin, almost 92% of correlation. Although if you look from the usability standpoint from now, Ethereum is much more kind of with the smart contracts embedded in them in this cryptocurrency. It has a much more progressive use, I think, in these first beginning years. So maybe they will decouple in the future. I don't know. I'm also tracking that. But for now, Ethereum has a highest correlation with the movements with the Bitcoin. So hence we are looking Ethereum also on the bullish side. We are identifying this as a possible first 5-way sequence, as in Bitcoin, a small pullback, and then we can start to potentially track something in a more progressive move on the upside. In the bearish scenario, we will look for the same flat, like running flat back to here, but we will see a clear signs for that, and we will be on track to actually point that out if we see this actually happening in the future. So let me show you also this cross, which I like from technical perspective. We have seen in this Ethereum Bitcoin cross, actually, we also track Bitcoin dominance with our members, and we also have Elliott wave counts and technical observation on all of these cryptos that we look, and we also with some of decentralized finance. So from lows, I see this as a 5-wave move potentially on the upside, and we actually had a very key hold here. Because if we went lower below this level, that will be a wave count invalidation, because according to the Elliott wave rules, we will enter the territory of the wave 2 or the wave 1. Take it however you like. Somebody likes to call it enter the territory of the wave 1. Somebody enter the territory of the wave 2. It really doesn't matter. But we had a key hold here without invalidating this, and then we moved in an impulsive structure in a potential wave 1. So I guess I'm looking for a really higher levels here, as long as this low holds in a one possible move down in 2, and then a progression of Ethereum over Bitcoin on the upside. I don't know if the Bitcoin will fall at a greater rate than Ethereum if we see the move lower, or actually the Ethereum will experience a movement on the upside, much more than a Bitcoin for some time. But definitely this chart is very telling for now that we might experience higher prices of this cross ahead. So let me see how we go so far. I'm just reading some of your comments. I'm glad you will probably put some of the things so we can look together, some charts or some thoughts that you have about cryptos. And if not, we can go. Yeah, I made them full screen. Sorry, I was carried away a little bit about talking regarding cryptos, so I left the charts. So I hope now you have a full view. Charts are so small. Okay, they're coming. Okay, don't worry, guys. If you like, I want to repeat something. Please, I'm going to repeat it to rectify this mistake if you didn't see anything. So no problem. Okay, so on my schedule, let me just look, because I had to script it myself like a proper thing. Where we are now, we already talked about our preferred method of analysis. We showed Bitcoin and Ethereum. Yeah, our 3-step trading process, I think also I have pointed out to newcomers. There is lots of newcomers, new traders like millennials. I'm a more Gen X, but I have a mind of exploring. I like to watch Star Trek and all of the stuff. I'm just following a new series on the Star Trek every week, so I like kind of diving into these new worlds, and that's same with cryptos. And I'm understanding the rejection of the crypto space because of lack of understanding of lots of investment community, but I think in a few years this will become a reality. And also I see a lot of new traders, millennials rushing into the space. But guys, trading is trading. It's going to be the same rules. Either you trade stocks, or you trade cryptos, or you trade any assets class, forex or whatever. If you're a technical trader, the charts will be there, and you will be prone to do same mistakes as we all did in the beginning. So I find a nice chart, and I do a lot of time in educated some of our kind of a new trading members, which are new in this craft, which is relatively, not relatively, but it is difficult to master. And it's a long journey, but it's very interesting journey. So I also like to show this this thing, which is a very nice representation of the things what one of the new people or new traders which are going to experience all of these kind of phases and go through them. This might take a few years. So I always show this chart on our member webinars and try to explain that a beginning success. I was also there. I passed almost all of these phases. Sometimes it was very painful. Sometimes it was very rewarding. But mastering your risk management, it's really the key when you also have a methodology that you apply. So I call this, or they called it, this is a Dunning-Kruger effect, and I like this very much. This is a peak of Mr. Stupid. It's a kind of a new trader, and I see myself there back in the years, having learn a methodology on like Elliott wave from Todd, and then after 3 days I'm trying to teach him Elliott wave, like look Todd, this is the fifth of the fifth, it's gonna go up, we have to go, blah blah blah, and then he's looking me like yeah guy, yeah, sure thing. So then after many years of application, I understood his his look on my assessment. So I was like immersed and very happy to have a new tool. And I was very Mr. Stupid at that time, having a beginning success, but then a painful phase came, and then all of my actually profits. I fried several accounts very successfully and very fastly by sticking to this rigid one time frame, looking like this is the wave count, this must be, this is the one I'm gonna make money. And then this cost me of frying several accounts in a year or two. And then I was starting asking myself what is really, and it was a valley of despair. Really, I was on to quitting trading at all. But my old friend told me that now if you quit, you're never gonna go back. So I don't know if that's true. Maybe he wanted to trick me, but I went back into trading, and then I quickly started to think what I'm doing wrong, and then it was this kind of a slope of enlightenment and Todd always was telling me, let me see what are your thought process, how do you do in your trades, show me your trades to see what you do with your risk. And I was really started to think about that, and afterwards I was starting to trade for institutional bank on a forex side, exactly in this phase. And when I realized when I control risk and when I have a sound methodology, I can have some chance in this world. And then I started digging in much more up. What we also do in trading analysis, we try actually to speed up this curve for a new trader. So just that they can save some of these phases. In a sense, they can shorten them up. They will appear, but they can shorten them up. And actually here is the plateau of sustainability, when you have basically most of your trades at break even. So people don't understand in trading, when you trade mostly, if you're a beginning in the first 3 or 4 years or 2 years, depends on your learning curve, your intelligence and everything. I needed a bit more time. I'm not very fast in my thinking, but when you have a break even or you are slightly up in a year, that's a very good level, and you can repeat that consecutively in the few months or a year or two. You already have a kind of sustainability level in trading from where you can actually start to build your profits and duration in this business. So I think you can derive a nice amount of wisdom from this graph. This is also a line of guru, so eventually you can become a guru, imagine. So let's dive into some other charts. I have also prepared some of the charts that I see potentially might be good for some. This is a sushi swap. I guess you know all of what a sushi swap is, and this is on decentralized finance, where is a Uniswap and Compound and some other cryptos, which are concerned basically with this project of decentralized finance. And I recognize a very nice pattern here from lows. So you can see that the progression is basically the same. You have to identify these phases where actually and how who is running the tool can successfully identify these balancing acts, as we say, as a corrections. And Todd, when he's lecturing, he's always mentioning that it's always important to kind of identify two major corrections, that you have an orientation where you are. And for this one, we use 4-hour daily charts. And here, if you can see, we see a nice move up in a wave 1, pull back down in a wave 3, and in a wave 2. And when you have these wave 3s, it's always the biggest and vertical expansion on the upside, which characterized the guys which are going long are pressing the pedal on the upside. Then you have a corrective pullback in a wave 4 and a final sequence in a wave 5, which I think it's going to come to the end. And I think we're going to have some pullback soon in this sushi swap, which might provide a good opportunity in the future. And we're going to continue to track that when I see. So I don't think much of the upside is left. Maybe this is just a small triangle in this fifth wave, and then we might continue to see some shorter or bigger pullback to the downside, which might also provide a good opportunity. On the upside, I also found one which I like very much. It's one of the projects which I found that is very, very nice. It's a Melon USD. These guys actually, I looked some podcast on the Real Vision, and this lady, which was a former Goldman Sachs, she found a way to facilitate the like a mid-size and a small fund managers to have their own funds on the blockchain without much of a trouble, like a back office and all of that stuff. It's all automated, and I think it's a very, very good project, and I think it's gonna progress in the future. I like that project very much. Also I see from lows here potentially 5 waves down. Maybe we're gonna have some types of a pullback relatively soon, because I can identify the first sequence. Then we're gonna have some type of an ABC, and I'm also gonna track that for you, and we can look to it together. And be free to pop up some of the interesting projects that you can see them, so we can look them technically. Yeah, guys, so I don't know, I lost track of time. 42 minutes, whoa, it's too much. So XRP, yeah, I think we are a little bit over the time, so we're gonna do that next time, if you don't mind. Maybe we can finish this first stream. It's a beginning stream. I'm gonna upgrade it through the time. You need a lot of preparation to do the stuff like this, and I'm gonna do it, and we're gonna improve week to week. So I hope this one went well for you. I would like you hit that like button so we can grow in visibility, that we can gather some really nice crypto community. And I'm not really sticking to any preferential. I'm not a bull or a bear guy. I just have a favoring blockchain projects, but I like to do this also from a technical standpoint. So for me, it's from the trading perspective, it's not really I'm not stick to it bullish or bearish view. I'm on both sides from the trading perspective, but from investing perspective, I'm relatively almost fully bullish on the blockchain in the future. So please leave your comments. Maybe some, as Todd say, insults if you don't like it. We like to hear everything. Just leave it in the comment section. You can help us to improve this show for our and your sake. You can also be an active participant. We will have some guests. We can look your charts, your suggestions. I would really like to invite a crypto community which is interested in this type of assessing this new blockchain thing with us, also from the technical perspective, to come on board and to make also this live stream to pick up in quality as well. So thank you on the attention, and see you next time, guys. So next Thursday, same time. It's not gonna be a crypto keeper because Todd wanted to name a show. There is a famous, I think it was on Fox or I don't know in the States. There is a, it's not a crypto, it's a crypt, which is a different thing. So Todd tell me, hey Alex, can you just name your show like a crypto keeper? We just changed this letter. And when I looked at the show, it's a comedy show, but it's I was actually talking to Bennett, which I thank for helping me on the initial, and all the team, everybody helped me out from the trading analysis team to run this show, and thank you Todd for the opportunity. So he told me, yeah, I mean you can put this name, but I was more like a corporate guy, like a crypto lab. So let's continue this crypto lab, guys, and see you next time. Bye bye.